Alright, it is that time again. Genshin Impact patch 3.6 is right around the corner. And a lot of you have the same important question. Which character to pull in the new Genshin Impact patch 3.6? Now, whether you are bored, curious to know, or preparing to write an entire paragraph of why I'm wrong, hopefully the information that I'm going to tell you will become some sort of a guide for you to decide which character to pull. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who making the decision. You are allowed to pull whoever you like. Hi everyone, I'm Josan and let's just jump into the video. First off, we have the new character that will be joining the Genshin Impact roster, Baizhu. Because he is not out yet, all of the things that we're gonna be discussing is based on pre-analysis that we got from the live stream update. Baizhu kit look like going to focus on healing and a little bit of shielding on the side. His scale of HP percent, so naturally he has HP percent as Ascension level bonus, helping you to create tankier Baizhu with higher healing potential. But sadly, he has one of the worst base defense in the game. His elemental skill summon a Dendro Snake that is dealing Dendro damage, performing 3 attacks and then the snake will return and heal all nearby party member based on Baizhu's max HP. And the healing scaling on this skill is no joke. You can heal your entire team up to 6 to 7000 HP in just one elemental skill. Next one is his shield or his burst. Creating a shield that has a really low scaling, but it is intended that way. Because every 2.5 seconds or every time the shield got destroyed, it will heal your own active character and unleash an attack to one enemy, dealing Dendro damage. His passive 5 Fortune Forever gains different effect based on the current HP of your current active character. When their HP is less than 50%, Baizhu gains 20% of healing bonus, and when their HP is equal or more than 50%, Baizhu himself will gain 25% Dendro damage bonus. The next passive is All Things Are of the Earth. The active character that got healed by his shield will gain some buff, increasing their Burning, Hyper Bloom, Bloom, and Burgeon damage by 2% and Aggravate and Spread by 0.8%. The buff scale for each 1000 max HP that Baizhu has not exceed 50k. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is his burst has resistance to interruption, and it's up for the entire duration. So even if your shield got destroyed and Baizhu hasn't created a new one, as long as the duration of the burst is still up, you will have resistance to interruption. By the way, the burst duration uptime is 14 seconds. Now let's talk about his counts. First, let's talk about his Dendro application. His Dendro application is bad. As a support character that is expected to apply Dendro off-field and have a good AoE, Baizhu seems unable to meet that expectation. His elemental skill, although it says that it hit up to 3 enemy, it only goes within line, so there are no AoE on his skill. Also, potentially, the enemy has to be close to each other in order for his E to bounce. Otherwise, it will just back to you and instantly heal you. His shield also only hit one enemy every 2.5 seconds. The damage that coming from it cannot bounce just like Beidou's burst. The second one is his burst requirement. With a high consistency of burst uptime, you will be able to get the nice Dendro reaction buff for your team. But his burst costs 80 energy and his personal energy regeneration, it seems that not that good. Luckily, we have a free-to-play weapon that looks tailor-made for Baizhu, so yeah, I don't know, we still have to see it. The third one is just his overall value. After all the things that we talk about, Baizhu looks like a healing focused character with a small buff on the side. The thing is, up until now, Genshin Impact game mechanics are still revolving around killing the enemy before the time limit, making survivability something that is not the number one thing to consider. Not to mention his low personal damage and low AoE Dendro application makes him really easily replaceable with other Dendro characters that can provide you with the essential kit for a Dendro support, making Baizhu more of a luxury character rather than a character that you need. Next is Nahida, who finally got a rerun. If you don't have her, then pull for her. Alright, next one is Ganyu. I'm just kidding. First of all, the complete opposite of Baizhu, Nahida can apply a lot of Dendro. Up until now, she is still the best Dendro in the game when it comes to Dendro application. Her elemental skill allow you to do a quick swipe, or you can hold it and enter a camera state like in order to mark the enemy. The marked enemy are linked together, and every time you trigger an elemental reaction, all enemy link will trigger 3 Karma Purification. Deal a decent amount of Dendro damage to one each of them. The covered area of her skill of the hold version are really large. This is Nahida's main source of damage and off-field Dendro application. It can also be used to pick item in long range and even read NPC mind, which, not gonna lie, it's kinda creepy. Nahida Burst does no damage, but it summons a really big dome that gives you party bonus effect based on circumstance. It increases her elemental skill damage if you have pyro character in your party, make her skill trigger more if you have electro character in your party, and increase the burst duration if you have hydro character in your party. It also increases your party elemental mastery by 25% of the character whose elemental mastery is the highest in your team. It goes up to 250 elemental mastery. She also can boost her own elemental skill damage based on her own elemental mastery, boosting up to 80% bonus damage and 24% crit rate, making you want to build her with a lot of elemental mastery in the first place. For her downside, I don't really see any major downside for her. Even if you argue that she cannot heal, well, we have Prototype Ember, making her a healer, sub DPS, elemental mastery buffer, and an off-field Dendro applicator. After we finish talking about the Dendro character, now let's talk about the character who needs Dendro to function, and that character is Nilou. She is a unique character who can change a whole elemental reaction for her advantage. She also unique because her kit entirely scale from HP. Her main mechanic revolves around her passive ability to change Bloom Seed, which created with Hydro and Dendro, to a bountiful course. This seed is different from usual Bloom Seed, and they explode much faster and do a lot of more damage because of Nilou's second passive that increased the course damage based on her max HP. But now here comes the catch. First one, you have to use Nilou with only Dendro or Hydro in your team, because this is the requirement to enable Nilou bountiful course passive in the first place, making her really not versatile. And yes, technically you can still go the hippie way and then put her with other element character, but in C0 you're just wasting so much potential of her. The second one is the bountiful core itself. The seed is amazing. It explodes fast and deals big damage, but it also have a high self damage that can kill your own character really fast if you don't have a good healer in the first place. This just makes her choice of team way more restricted than before. And now for the last character that will be featured in patch 3.6 is Ganyu. She is added in the game back in patch 1.3 and already made a couple reappearances, with her latest rerun will be in the next patch. So I do believe that many of us have already understood her from head to toe. Ganyu's main kit is about her special charge attack and burst, which both deal massive damage. Ganyu's charge shot have a second level charge up that allow them to hit twice with the first hit just like normal charge shot, and the second hit will deal even more damage and have an AoE. Her burst summons a large ring that drop over 30 big icicles that have an AoE on impact. Because of this, if the enemies stack together, you can deal multiple AoE damage on the enemy, making her burst a quadratic scaling ability. Her DPS potential is amazing. You can either run her on one of the strongest team in the game, or freeze and gather the enemy with anemo, and then letting your burst deal quadratic scaling damage where your charge attack AoE hits all of them at the same time. Or focusing on single target potential with reverse melt, boosting your charge attack to deal insane damage. Ganyu's support ability is at best an okay tier. You can run and build her revolving around her burst damage, and every character who stands inside her burst also gain cryo damage bonus thanks to her passive. For her downside is more of a subjective matter. Ganyu playstyle can be boring pretty fast. All you do with Ganyu is constantly doing charge attack, and even for someone who really loves Ganyu like myself, at this point I even only use Ganyu if I want a quick easy win in the Spiral Abyss. Also, Ganyu is very easy to interrupt, therefore sometimes it can be annoying when you have to deal with enemy that can stagger you or you don't have a shield. Now that we already talked about all of them, if after all of that discussion and you are still confused about who you should pull, this section will help you with that. Before anything, remember, if you have any subjective factor that makes you want to pull for any of those 5-star, then go for it. Pull the character that you like, because at the end of the day, it's your account and you are the one who makes the decision. Alright, first of all, if you don't have Nahida, then pull for Nahida. You guess it, the Archon, always the OP one. Nahida holds so much value for the account of her capability and versatility. She is free-to-play friendly and her off-field damage and application is just amazing. Every single team that involves Dendro reaction, just add Nahida in it and it will boost your performance by a lot. After that, if you need your first or early DPS in your account, then get Ganyu. DPS characters are usually replaceable than support because of the lack of versatility added in your account, but Ganyu relevant since their first appearance prove how sustainable she is as a DPS for your account. For the next character is going to be Baizhu. Once again, I said Baizhu is more of a luxury character than a character that you need. So, if you already have Nahida or other good Dendro character, having Baizhu as your secondary Dendro character will give you a good value. Her healing capability is amazing, and in some scenario like aggravate or spread team and a single target situation, well, where you usually use 2 Dendro character, Baizhu can perform pretty well. Also, the resistance to interruption can be good for characters like Alhaitham, Tanari, and Sino who have problem with interruption. And the last one is Nilou. Not only that she is a DPS, which means that you have other choice, she is also an exclusive DPS. There are not a lot of versatility when it comes to building a team around her, but I'm not saying that she's bad. Pulling for Nilou is not bad because she actually deals a lot of damage and fun to play. Just make sure that you have Nahida and a healer like Kokomi or High Constellation Yao Yao or even Baizhu. And that's it for today's video, everyone. If you have any question, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section so that other people who have a better knowledge about it can help you answer it. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in another video. Have a wonderful day.